we decided that we want to focus on visual storytelling.
I have had to confess, right now, none of those code are written by me.
So we want to do more. We want to accomplish more and know more because AI has enabled that.
Some of the things that we try to do is be more narrative.
I actually think that you manage AI tools the same way we manage people.
So it's just a great way to find great talent and also foster a great community on social media.
I could vibe code something with Ori in like an hour.
OpenArt is one of the fastest growing AI creative platforms. Millions of creators worldwide use it to make better content faster. Today, I'll sit down with the CEO, Coco, and her team to explore how they use AI to stay one step ahead in this new agentic era. This isn't just a company using AI, it's a glimpse of how work itself is starting to change. And honestly, a team shipping this fast has definitely earned a quick break. Thank you so much for doing this, Coco.
Of course, thank you for having me, Theo.
Yeah. Okay. So how'd you get here?
I started OpenArt back in 2022, and before that, I was at Google for 7 years. First at Google Photos as a software engineer, and then I started my first startup at Google's incubator, and we were building a short video platform focusing on lifestyle content. And we built it for 2 years, had millions of monthly active users, and got acquired by Google Search, and then stayed Google Search for a while, and then decided to leave Google and start the next journey.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have gone through a lot of changes over the years, from like more of a kind of cataloging product to image gen to video gen. Mm-hmm. Can you just walk me through like the progression and where things are going next?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one thing that's I think very unique about us is that we've been iterating a lot, especially in this Gen AI era. I think you need to be really reinvent yourself every once in a while. So when OpenArt started, it was more like there's no generation functionality at all. It was more like we call it Pinterest for AI images, because we found at that time people just didn't know what prompts to write. So they need a kind of a community or like a place to browse like other people's AI images and their prompts. So we started with that, built the prototype within a week, launched it to Hacker News, and then got viral. That was how we actually got the first wave of visitors. And then we realized, people really need the tool to generate images. So then in 2025, we decided that we want to focus on visual storytelling. And our mission today is to democratize visual storytelling. And also at that time, one thing happened is that the video models got exponentially better, and then combined with this mission of democratizing visual storytelling, we decided to shift our focus from image to videos. And today we realize that all of this asset generation is only part of the user journey. People want end-to-end videos. That's why we're doubling down on agents. After this, we'll have a lot of more agentic experience, because we really think that this is moments that the creative workflow will have drastic change.
So obviously working on the application layer, you need to move very, very quickly.
Yes.
How are you using AI to make yourself as nimble as possible?
Yeah. Honestly, we are so AI native now that I would say everyone is a builder, not just the engineers. Later you'll talk to a lot of team members, and then you will realize that instead of people asking engineers to build the tools for them, everyone just started live coding. And then if someone has an idea about a workflow improvement, or even some ideas about a product, they will just build by themselves. And we empower people to build by offering an open class, and then we put this in our Slack, and we call them Ori. So we actually have a bunch of Oris. There's Ori E for engineers for coding, there's Ori G for general purposes. And the most powerful thing is that these Oris, they have access to a lot of our tools, for example, Asana, Discord, Notion, all of this. So they basically know everything about our company. So when a new employee is onboarded, he actually will just directly talk to Ori to understand everything. And Ori also help engineers to debug. So I think this is the change we're seeing when you are giving AI all of this access to your knowledge base. They essentially become your employees.
Yeah. So you have your own agentic workforce sitting on top of your knowledge base, then working across all your teams. That seems like a super good use of AI. Can we go see it in action maybe?
Yes, let's do it.
Amazing. Yeah, I wanted to start with engineering because I think that's like the most easy to conceptualize way that AI has changed people's jobs.
Of course.
What does your coding workflow generally look like today versus a year ago?
Wow, it's completely different. I had to confess, right now, none of those code are written by me. Like, not even single live code is done by my hand.
Oh, wow.
I do everything through cloud code, through codecs, through agents. We even build our own in-house agents, running OpenArt behind the scenes. It get access of our data, so it have all the context needed. Like, I think it's like every engineer in the team, they are basically just 100% on like AI, on cloud, on codecs, on cursor. And I cannot imagine a case we have to come over and edit the code ourselves.
So what would a kind of a sample workflow look like?
So, like for someone in the engineer team, that's straightforward because like you have the code base set up locally. Like, well, we basically like, for example, we run the cloud code in terminal, and I can just ask cloud code to do things for me. Like, for example, could you help me take a look of this pull request, or like how to fix this issue? So all type of thing you just ask, then cloud is starting to take care from it. And it will ask you for permission for things they need, and they will tell you like how they are trying to do, and eventually they come back towards like, oh, this is the result I got. Like, do you like it or not? It's like a conversation. Just feel like, I mean, I'm an engineer leader, and I have get used to like working with other team member together, right? I generally like talk with them, say, oh, how about, have you done this? Have you think about that? But now you just talk with the cloud and just do all the things for you. And a lot of times it's do better than human.
Yeah, well, another member of the team I wanted to meet who's been stomping around. Who's this guy here?
It's my dog. His name is Tofu. He's a favorite in the office. Tofu, come here. All right. Okay. All right. He get excited, and everyone in the office like him. There's one day I was like, Friday, I'm going to work from home. Everyone was like, oh, cool, enjoy. And then they suddenly realized, oh, so Tofu is not coming? Oh my God, my heart break. So you see, like he kind of already win everyone in the office.
Yeah, so Coco told me AI is seeping its way across the whole org. I was wondering if it even found its way into the partnership side. How are you using AI today? Have you built anything?
Yeah, I think like what's very exciting is everyone thinks AI is going to make your work easier and save a lot more time. But actually for us, it's making everyone even greedier. So we want to do more. We want to accomplish more and know more, because AI has enabled that. So from the partnerships team, because part of our role is being the eyes and the ears of the company to know what's happening out there. So what we built with Cloud Code is actually a news scraper. It has a list of, say, like 10 categories across AI studios, aggregator platforms like us, model players, industry players. And then within each category, there are also a lot of names that we identify, like specific brands, companies, people that we want to look out for. So every day or every couple of days, I will generate an update, and then it will give me a summary of everything that's happened in these categories with these names, so everyone can keep updated with what's going on out there. And what's even more interesting is the tool will also identify potential rising players that we need to look out for. So the list is expanding and evolving as well.
Awesome. So I see there's like kind of two main things. There's discovery, being early to find new players, and I guess just keeping a general thumb on the pulse of like the market dynamics. Maybe something changes and now this player is more desirable for partnership.
Exactly. It also saves a lot of time because, sometimes they post updates on Twitter, sometimes there's these AI newsletters or websites. There's so many sources. This is a way for us to aggregate knowledge, but also reduce the time spent.
So you guys have had pretty impressively quick growth on all your socials. I guess you're mainly responsible for the YouTube, which pretty much you gained like 300-400 subscribers in the course of a year. So You know, what's the general strategy? I'm looking for things I can steal also for my own YouTube channel growth.
Yeah. I think the main thing was consistency. You know, people talk about that, but they don't really tell you why that's important. And, you know, we can get into all the algorithms and things and strategy things, but when it comes down to it, you're really just showing up for your audience. And whether you're a business or a solopreneur, you just got to show up for people. Obviously, there's underlying strategy there. And as soon as we started just being consistent, and then you start to learn from data, from analytics, who your audience is, what they're interested in, how they react to like model launches and feature launches. So that tells you a lot. You know, numbers don't lie, right? So, yeah.
And how do you stay on top of, right, it's like, it feels like there's a new model release now every like 2-3 weeks. Obviously, they all have their own strengths and their own things to highlight and market about them. How do you navigate that?
Yeah, so a lot of pre-research, you know, being prepared, especially nowadays, like from when the first Stable Diffusion image model came out, I was very aware at that time. And when I was running my own channel, I was exposed to it very early. So it's very important to kind of, you know, keep up with what's happening in this industry. And, you know, the changes are kind of, you know, little steps here and there. So it's really just being aware of the tech that you're dealing with, the models you're dealing with, and kind of obsessing over the technology. And it, as you said, it advances so fast.
And then just more generally, how do you think about storytelling? You know, I'm watching your one of your long form ads you did over your shoulder, and it's just, you know, I see people fighting, and then there were some alien ships that came in. Maybe if you want to replay it and kind of walk through some of your thoughts around how you tell a good story.
Sure. There's a few approaches, like mainly we teach or we educate our users how to use OpenArt. And it's tricky to tell a story, you know, with a tutorial. Mind you, you still can do that, but some of the things that we try to do is be more narrative, be a bit more entertaining, but still giving that educational value.
So I have it on authority from a few different sources that you're one of the more interesting people to talk to. How has like agentic workflows and AI crept its way into your business workflows?
It's been actually really amazing. The difference between 6 months ago and today in my ability to get work done is night and day. And the biggest thing is we know what we need, and we're often very dependent on other people to find time and talent to go and implement the software that we need. Now, with a really clear understanding of what we need, I have agents that can help me build that without going and bothering our engineering team. So on the business side, we can build the internal tooling we need without that dependency, and we can move much faster.
And do you want to go over that example you mentioned where you created this tutorial site, and instead of having to watch all these videos to get ramped up with the business, you can quickly do that?
So I started here about 3 months ago, which is about 1.5 years in dog years. And I had to figure out, like, how does the product work? I had to learn this. And so I asked the team, like, how do I learn how to use the product? And they said, well, here's 14 YouTube videos. This is the best way to learn. That's great, but it's like 4 hours of content. And I'm like, well, what do I read? And they're like, we don't have something to read. So I looked at it and I said, I really want the ability to read this. And also, I need clients to have the ability to read something. So I spent a bunch of time over the course of the next week or two watching the videos, but also asking Claude and Claude Code help me figure out how to build a written companion tutorial to the videos. And over the course of several days, we basically built, Claude and I, a 14-module online training suite that includes full indexes, transcripts, links back and forth from the video, and even like a scoring thing so you can see how much of it you've done and what's left to do. And in about a week, we were able to develop a fully fledged training module that is now suitable to give to like a professional audience in addition to a consumer audience. And that happened basically on my own time without having to go and draft engineers. Yeah,
amazing. I like that you put some gamification features in it also.
Right.
You said that didn't happen overnight, but something else did when you
Yeah.
changed the language.
So that's a great point that the tools compound, right? First of all, my learning compounds. The reason it took maybe a week the first time is I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to figure it out. But once we had built, Claude and I, this training site, I have the raw material to go and iterate really fast. So about a week ago, I was at a conference with one of my team, and she mentioned we have a client in Malaysia. And they asked, can you do training for us in Malay? And I was like, we can't do training for you in Malay. No, I don't have training resources in Malay. And that night, when I went back to my hotel at this conference, before I went to bed, I pulled out my laptop and I started talking to Claude and saying, how can I translate our training materials into Malay? In about 20 minutes, we came up with a plan. It's not actually just translation. You have to do a few other things to the UI. You have to change the videos in this way and make a few other changes. So we came up with a plan. I told Claude Code, design the plan, and now don't wake me up. Just run and commit. Launch this overnight. I went to bed after about 20 minutes of pre-work. Claude worked for about 2 hours. In the morning, I woke up. We now have a 14-module training microsite in Malay for this client. It was amazing.
It's amazing. I like the way you talk about Claude, like it's a dear friend and a proper coworker.
It is like a coworker. You know, one of the funny things is people talk about what do I do when I have AI agents that are like brilliant but not fully reliable and they sometimes make mistakes. What do I do when I have colleagues who are brilliant but not fully reliable and sometimes they make mistakes? We've developed a technology over the last hundreds of years called management to deal with organizations of productive units that are very capable and not fully reliable. I actually think that you manage AI tools the same way we manage people. And that paradigm actually is a very effective analogy.
Yeah, so I understand you're doing content strategy more on the short form side. You guys are actually described as the most like Gen Z part of the team.
Yeah. Most of my team is actually like they're 22, 23, so they're all Gen Zs working with me. I think I'm the oldest. I'm 27. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense because your job is pretty much like connecting with the communities. Like it's not even so much about like pumping out content, but just creating this flywheel of like engaged community members who create their own content. How does the strategy kind of work?
Yeah. I think our focus on social media is less about creating content and then more about engaging with the creators on our community and our socials. So we have the different programs like our Creative Partners program, we have our Open Artist program. These programs are to empower all the creators around the world. So we give them free access for OpenArt and then they create content every single day. So like every month we get around 1,000 posts that tag OpenArt. So that's how we doubled our followers in the last 1 month. We were at 65K followers just in February, and now we're at 160K followers on Instagram. And that's totally organic. And for our community, I feel like we're doing social media challenges, we're doing Discord challenges. So we focus a lot on fostering a strong community of creators so they can all feel like they're part of something.
So you obviously give them some free credits and free usage of OpenArt, but then you'll do some competitions also to just stifle some kind of creative competition. Do you want to throw up that video you have and maybe talk through what this competition is?
So we keep doing these social media challenges every week and every month. For example, this is one of the videos that we had as a submission for the challenge. It's just a cute animation made with Cdance 2.0, by the way. This is a new model that we have from ByteDance. And it's really, really transformed the video generation space because it's just too realistic, it's too good with the voiceover, with the music. So this challenge was basically a competition between our creative partners and our open artists. These are two different programs. So we had a little challenge for both programs to come together and create videos with Cdance 2.0 and post them on our socials. And we got like 200 submissions in 1 week. And we have variations of different kind of content. And the good part is I actually found a lot of creators that we can hire for our team. The video editors and people who can create really cinematic content, really realistic content. So it's just a great way to find great talent and also foster a great community on social media.
How has AI kind of seeped its way into your job function? I know you talked about it being almost like an amplifier to reach the different teams?
Yeah, like our engineering team is really capable and was actually able to build certain AI tools for us. So for example, one of them is called Ori. So we have Ori G, which is like the general use of it, which is like what my team would use, for example, around HR purposes, recruitment purposes and stuff like that, and other administrative tasks. And then we also have Ori E, which is used for our engineering tasks. So if I wanted to vibe code something to help create, let's say, a new tool to help me with HR tasks in terms of organizing our benefits plans or reaching out to certain people to just check in on them and see what's going on, but to be able to do it all at once, I could vibe code something with Ori E in like an hour, whereas an entire engineering team would take like a week to do so, and be able to leverage those things to help make my job easier and also make other people's lives easier at our company as well.
Okay, amazing. So it seems like there's so much knowledge sharing across the different departments, but also there's like a lot of education around it where it's easy to like quickly configure your own custom agents.
Exactly. And because we have access to our engineering team at an arm's length, I can always just check in with something and say, okay, let me create this one tool. And then if it's not exactly the way I want it to be, I can reach out to anyone and they'd be able to help me and say, oh, maybe it's because you missed this and this, try to prompt it this way. And for someone like myself that has no coding experience whatsoever, I'm not technical at all, right? I'm in HR and talent acquisition. So for someone to me to have that kind of power to be able to do that type of stuff, it one helps me operate a lot more lean, and two, it also helps me understand the lay of the land a lot better. Because one thing, in order for me to help empower, our people, I need to understand what's going on, and that's kind of hard to do as one person, and you've got an entire bunch of people that have their own individual things going on all at once. So tools like Ori helps solve that problem for me and understand everything all at once, so everyone can be kept happy all at once.
Thanks for showing me around. So who's losing their job first because of AI?
Perhaps me. I'm not sure. But so my take on this is that everyone can do more empowered by AI. So it doesn't mean that people will lose their job. It means that people will do more. So in our case, right, we're actually still actively hiring. So yes, so if you are interested in our company, you can email us at careers@openart.ai. So we are very actively hiring.
Awesome. So yeah, go apply to OpenArt, and thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Because at that time,
okay, I'll ask. Yeah, people will be coming in and out. Maybe if you just give them like a shh.
hopefully we'll move beyond the first question this time.
Hopefully, that's the goal.
But also reduce the time spent.
Okay, amazing. Well, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'll keep the handshake in there.
It's very efficient.
I don't know why I panicked.
Behind the scenes.
Okay, I'll put in the behind the scenes, put in the B-roll. Some of your thoughts around how you tell a good story.
Sure. Ad breaks.
You're gonna look at the whole time?
If you can handle it.
I feel like I know you very well.
Quick and painless. That's it.
That
Just
was
two
it?
questions. Yeah.
No, man, you guys are really good.
Nice
Yeah.
and quick. Yeah. No,
Awesome.
I don't want you to be late for your meeting.
Thanks so much, Theo. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.